Hello and welcome to France 24, where in Chiang Mai today I am joined by Thailand's 30th Prime Minister, Mr. Srettha Thavisin. Mr. Thavisin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
In 2014, the army overthrew the government and stayed in power for 9 years. You've been in office for 6 months now. How does it feel to be the first civilian prime minister after those 9 years?
Well, 9 years has been a very long time. And in my view, the economic agenda has been, I'll be careful when I say this, neglected a little bit. Okay, so during the formation of government, we, the team, felt that the most important thing during the first couple of months of my administration, we should focus on the economic stimulus package, together with setting up the long-term plan, like getting in foreign direct investment from various countries, whether it's from the American, from the Chinese.
Do you believe that the future of Thailand is going to be more democratic?
Yes, I truly believe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here. But again, the process, the changing process cannot be done within like one election. Like how many coups do we have?
Since 1932, Thailand has had 12 coups and 20 constitutions. Several former prime ministers were overthrown by the army. Are you worried that there could be another coup or that you could be overthrown?
I can't worry for things that I have no control, because I think I'm focusing on what I have the control. All right. Of course, I learned from some people might call it mistakes by the previous governments, but my goal is very clearly to make the life of Thai people better.
Taking a step back, you're a very successful businessman, and also before you've been a property tycoon for many years, but you are also a first-time politician. You only joined the Pheu Thai party in 2022, and you jumped straight to the top post. Is it the most difficult job in the world?
I think it's one of the most difficult jobs in the world, yes, being a politician, being at the top of a...
Why?
Well, I mean, there are many stakeholders. I mean, like if you were, during my previous life, when I was CEO of a big private companies, you have shareholders, you have customers, you have social responsibilities. But now, when you become a prime minister, there are many more stakeholders. There's the press, or establishment, the people, the MPs, the militaries, the NGOs. I mean, it's a big job, big task.
You've also said recently that you were surprised that the role of the Prime Minister's power is a bit limited. Would you please clarify your position and tell us about the limitations that you're facing?
Let me tell you the whole sentence, okay? The whole sentence that I made was, I'm surprised at the amount of power the Prime Minister has, but most of the time, the lack of it, okay? Being Prime Minister, of course, is a very powerful position, okay? And in certain things, you feel that you have a lot of powers, but in many things, in many cases, during the, like for example, issuing the regulation, the new law being passed, it requires many factions to get on board with that. That's why I said, it takes a longer time.
In March, you were in France. You met Emmanuel Macron. What impression did you get of the French president? What did you discuss?
We had 4 eyes meeting, just he and I sitting in a living room. He has a bigger ambition than that. That's a feeling I have. Okay. I could be wrong, but again, he cares about the world. We talk a lot about, obviously we talk about the relationship between Thailand and France of over 300 years, one of our longest trading partners. He supported the Schengen free, when the Thai go to a European nation, no visa. We discussed about setting up in May a meeting with business people between Thai and the French. The Thai will go there I believe on the 16th of May. Will bring a full delegation of the big corporation and he will also bring big corporation and then have some discussion on cross-border investments. So those are the basic business issue that we discuss. But I think more importantly, we discuss about the world, the geopolitics, which I believe he is super passionate about. Obviously, the hottest topic was Ukraine and Russia. Just before I met with him, he made a bold statement regarding ground troop things like that. So I said, hey, Mr. President, it's really causing some noises, and the media think that you are going to take an aggressive role. He smiled and he said he believed that Putin would not stop. That's what he said. Okay, but I did not agree with that. I think he wouldn't dare moving forward to other nation to invade other nation. But obviously, I'm not there. I mean, we're not part of the conflict. Thailand is far removed, and we are a neutral country. Okay, we talk about Hamas and Israeli issues, in which I also asked him for his help. That the loss of life for the Thai, which is very high, 40, 50, which is the highest, not counting the conflict nations. We were there to help Israel grow their agricultural crops. 40, 50 were killed. 30 were held hostages. 8 are still in custody. Nobody knows their fate. I mean, is it fair for us? So I asked for his help. He promised that he would also help in getting Thai back.
Okay, so speaking of cooperation with other countries, we cannot skip this issue. Here in Chiang Mai, we are not so far from Myanmar, where a brutal civil war is ongoing. The junta overthrew the democratically elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi in 2021. People, especially the youth, have taken up arms to fight against the junta. There is also a growing humanitarian crisis, with over 2 million people already displaced from their homes, many of whom have fled across the border to Thailand. As a neighbor, what is your policy and how will your government help?
The first word that we should discuss is humanitarian assistance. Okay, if there is people who need help, then we will help them. At the moment, there are a couple of thousand of them already in Thailand. But because of our near full employment status, unemployment in Thailand has been less than 1%. Okay, there are a lot of working force, labor force coming from Cambodia, from Myanmar already. We have 2,000 kilometers borderline with Myanmar. Okay, that is huge, and the border is porous. 2 months ago, in late January, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan from the United States and Mr. Wang Yi, the foreign minister from China, had a meeting here. That at that time was a hush-hush meeting, confidential. But after they met, I also met separately with them. The issues of Myanmar situation were discussed. Thailand has been unofficially asked to help out, playing the middleman between the conflicting parties, so that the problem doesn't escalate. And I think both countries agree that they should work together with us as a neutral country to try to, whatever we can, to help to make sure that the problem doesn't escalate into full civil war. At the moment, the problem has not reached the point where there is a full civil war. So the refugee issue is not really that big of an issue at the moment. I think we should be focusing on what role can Thailand play so that the problem doesn't escalate into a full civil war.
Cannabis was surprisingly legalized in 2022 in Thailand. The health minister has pledged to recriminalize recreational marijuana. It's a huge business today, though. So how do you plan to do that without harming the economy?
I think harming the economy is a strong word. I don't think it would harm the economy, because by legalizing the cannabis, I think that's very harmful to the economy. I think the health ministry is on the right track in doing that.
So do you think that people should be in jail for possessing marijuana?
Depending on the law, the amount and the transition period from being illegal, legal, and then illegal again. So you need to give them the runway.
But you think that there will be no impact on the massive business of legal marijuana in Thailand?
I don't think there's a massive business at the moment. I think the massive result from legalizing it is going to be negative, massive repercussion to the people of Thailand.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you. Well,